obviously the one downtown is a fully mature project. You did a wonderful job in your last renovation. But let's talk a little bit about your West Side project. And it's sort of a tweener, right? It's west of the Garden, and it's east of Hudson Yards. And so how do you think that the mixed-use concept we've been talking about will eventually become part of your project in terms of multifamily where people live and retail where they shop, and how do you think of your project in that context?
That's a good question. Maybe start by saying, you mentioned at the beginning of this question that mixed use has been around for a while and hasn't always worked, and that's true. And I think the thing that's different now is this trend of urbanization and also what's going on with the millennial part of the population. So roughly 50% of the world's population lives in cities. Many experts project that number is going to be 70% in our lifetime. So that's pretty remarkable. At the same time, we've spent a lot of time studying millennials, how they work, and what they want. They work hard, they play hard, they want a work-life balance, and they don't, punch in at 9 and punch out at 5. They want to be able to leave the office at 3 and go work out or do something fun, and then come back. So they want everything immediately available to them. So, consequently, I think mixed-use development or placemaking has become very important, and it's something that we've been doing all around the world. We renamed, after our substantial renovation, the World Financial Center Brookfield Place. That's sort of our premium mixed-use brand, and we're rolling them out all over the world. We have one in Toronto, we're building one in Calgary, we have one in Perth, Manhattan West is going to be one, and we're building one in Dubai. And so when we think about the mix at Manhattan West, because it is a little bit of a tweener, there are a few things that actually influence what you build. I mean, if you had a clean sheet of paper, you'd do exactly what you want. I think if we had a clean sheet of paper at our project, we would have done more residential and less commercial. But zoning is a very important element when it comes to planning what you do in a project. In our project, we could only do 800,000 square feet of residential, so we're building 850 apartments, basically maxing that out. But the other aspects of the project are basically influenced by demand. So we think that a 150 key hotel will work, so we're going to build that there. We have the apartment that I mentioned. I think from a retail standpoint, because of the physical characteristic of our site, we can only add about 200,000 square feet of retail. And it's really intended to be the kind of retail that's attractive to that workforce. A number of people on the panel have mentioned that it's important to create an environment where employers can actually attract employees. So we'll have a food hall, a health facility, and a lot of food and beverage, I think, because we're in between the Garden and the great work that Jeff's doing in Hudson Yards. So
when you took